Hey, it's great to have you back. Whole new season, starting over. Picked up 2 packages of bees today, and today we're going to install them in these 2 hives. So you can see I've got plenty of frames that are already drawn out with comb. There's some resources in there as well. Hopefully the bees will be happy with that. But we're going to get these 2. So it's kind of a special day today. We're actually going to host with the Pikes Peak Beekeepers Association. We're going to put on the demonstration of installing these. So I may not be talking directly to the camera all the time. I'll be talking to lots of other people, but got about an hour before people should be showing up, and we'll get going. But it's a little bit of a drizzly day today, but it is about, well, I've got 45 degrees right now. The high today is supposed to be 67. So hopefully we're on a warming trend and it should be good. So thanks for coming along to Adrian Has Bees, and let's wish me luck for this year with the bees. Thanks for watching, everyone. So first thing I'm going to do is just kind of make some space for them so that I'm not trying to do this once I've started trying to manipulate the package there. So I'm going to take out, actually I'll take out 5 frames. Wow, that leaves me 6 in there. Did I really shove an extra frame in there?
Have frames for like honey and everything.
Oh, I do, yeah. So last year when my bees died off, they just didn't kind of make it. I can show you guys kind of what this looks like.
Yeah, you guys want to get up and you.
Yeah, you can get it. Yeah, there's no bees gonna be flying around us just yet. So yeah, so this is a frame out of the old hive, and all of these capped cells here are honey. This is actually honey that's inside there. Probably a little crystallized by now because it's sat all year. But then there's some colored pollen inside these cells here too. So the nice thing about putting this in there, you can actually see there was some brood down around in here. What the bees will do, they'll put brood in the middle of the frame, then around the outside they'll do pollen, and then around the outside of that they'll do honey. And all of that just kind of creates this rainbow effect in there. And you can see that these little capped cells here are just bees there's even one that died trying to get out right there. And this is just when this hive perished. This is just kind of a snapshot in time about that.
So that's the eggs of them, I guess.
So that's the larva and the pupa.
The bees will clean that out.
Yeah, the bees are just going to clean all that out, hopefully, and then they'll patch up any of the, some of this might have been crushed accidentally by that. But the nice thing about it with all this honey is good resources for them.
Yeah, they'll give them a head start. Now, I'm assuming everybody here probably doesn't have this, so what you're going to... I've never seen any stuff. So what you're going to do, if you have a new frame, you can get sugar water, 50-50 sugar and water, and pre-spray your frames with that. That way the bees will be attracted to it. They'll have a little bit more resources there. I mean, later today when the sun's out and it's going to be at 60, they're going to go out flying. They'll actually will find some, there's pollen available now.
Sure.
So they'll be starting to bring in pollen today. But yeah, you'll want to just spray just so they have resources. They'll want to stay there just because there is, food available. So
pardon my ignorance.
No, not at all. Please.
As the frame starts with like a honeycomb, like a synthetic honeycomb.
Well, there's different ways. Have you? I guess you haven't.
No, I'm totally clueless. I'm just here to learn.
Oh, okay, right. So you can buy frames that look like this.
So yeah, this is basically a plastic frame that's just got a very thin coat of wax over it to try and encourage the bees.
And then they add on to that.
They add on.
Yeah, they draw it out. In cells, yeah.
Okay, here to see it.
Yep. So
the other thing is the advantage is also the black. If you're looking, I mean, there is different things. So you can get it where you can I have the bees do all the wax, but if you get pre-drawn frames or plastic frames.
Mhm.
They come in yellow and black.
Right. I
would
probably
suggest-
got yellow
I would
somewhere.
suggest Black. The reason for that is later on, when you're inspecting, and you said you had some that had some brood on it. Yeah, when the queen lays eggs, it's just a really, really tiny little piece of
Right. A little white speck.
and it's really hard to see, especially with a yellow background. Now, black, at least you can see it.
Yeah. None of these have eggs that got
But your
frozen
thing
in
is
there.
you're gonna
but
look
yeah.
in. You're gonna want to look in here, and and that's a normal inspection thing. So having a black background is a big advantage. I mean, you can do it with yellow. It's just a lot harder to see it.
It is, yeah. That's kind of why I switched. I probably still have some yellow ones around, but I only buy the black foundation now.
The yellow is fine up where I keep the honey.
Oh,
the
yeah,
scoopers.
yeah.
I mean, that's fine, but the brood boxes, keep black.
Yep.
That way you don't have to throw away the yellow ones if you happen to get some.
Yep. And plus, once you're looking through a screen, through a veil, it's even harder to kind of see, too. I'm going to go ahead and we'll grab one and we'll get it going. And feel free to correct me if I say something that's dumb. Or,
there's lots of ways to do this.
Exactly.
It's going to be more of preference than anything.
Right.
What'd you put in your smoker?
So I just put wood chips. There's actually that bag of wood shavings down there. And I always put just like like a 1-inch stick that's about 4 inches long. I'll throw that in there, and that way it just kind of helps make sure if I happen to forget to put more fuel in it, that keeps it going so that when I do remember.
Until he gets ready to actually dump the bees into there.
Yeah.
I mean, if we're going to do something that's going to freak you out, I mean, I probably shouldn't even have this on. I don't need it on yet. It's not until he starts shaking the bees in there that you need to. They're like, we're good.
Yeah. Right. All right. So we'll take it on over there and we'll start the process. All right. So when I do this, I'm going to shake them down again. Then I'm going to get the can out. Can's actually really loose in there. So you guys are welcome to get here. I'm not really concerned about that. The camera will probably turn itself off in 10 minutes or so anyway. But yeah, we're going to take the can out, and then bees will start coming out a little bit, but I'm going to work on getting the queen out, and we'll have a good look at the queen in there. And then I may just hand her off to you to hold on to while I shake the bees in, if you don't mind.
Okay, but you're gonna pound the bees down, take the can out, take the queen cage out, and put the can back in. Right. So.
Oh, I can. Yeah.
I mean,
I typically do it all in one swoop, but I can do that. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. All right.
So that way you have minimal amount of bees coming out.
Yep.
And you see, you notice we didn't lose any bees.
I got one that's just still on there. You guys can have a look at the queen if you like.
Yeah, they're fast.
Oh, the queen can be very fast.
Yeah.
If you could just tilt it towards me.
Oh, sure.
To get a.
So that's the cork in there, right?
Yep. So there's a cork.
You have a cork, not the candy, right? So we're
right. Yeah, and they've got the cork sideways, which is I've never seen that cork in there like that. They'll probably eat through that before I get a chance to release her.
Just big.
See her?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
you guys get a chance to see her?
on your body. Right, so that's how you can identify what the queen is.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Is she marked or unmarked?
She's unmarked. She won't be marked.
Oh, really?
There's no boy bees. There's no boy bees in here.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Once she starts laying here shortly, within
So what I'm gonna
within 3 weeks, we'll have drunk will be boy bees.
Yep. What I'm gonna do is lay her on the hive. I've got a little girl there. Drop her in there. I'm going to lay her right there so that as I shake the bees in, she's already kind of on there. And then what I'll end up doing is kind of pushing her in between 2 of the frames as I put other frames back in there.
So did you have any sugar plugs?
Nope.
So
I just leave the cork plug in there, and I've always seen that they try eating through there, but I'll go back in tomorrow evening and I'll pull it out if she's not released.
Okay. I mean, they will shoot. They can chew through wood. So, but usually I've always replaced it with I've done a marshmallow plug.
Oh yeah, and I've seen that just with the candy plug. Yeah, but I've always just gone back in that second day and just released her kind of make sure that they're doing that. So, all right. So we're gonna. Do you have a question?
How long have the bees been in there with the queen? Like when they put them in there and ship them? Like when do they?
Yeah. So it was yesterday. This time yesterday, these bees were in California, and that queen had never been around these bees, right? So they put them all together, kind of, and then put them on the truck, and they drive overnight.
If there's no candy in there for the bees, they haven't accepted her yet. Are they still feeding her? What if they're not?
But you can look right here. I can look at this girl right here.
Yeah, it looks like she's
she looks like she's, the thing is there's going to be two differences, right? If they're not accepted, they're actually going to be trying to kill the queen.
Yeah.
Right. They'll be trying to sting her.
And you'll have to look for the aggressive, but the thing is, it almost looks the same, but she's actually trying to feed, and you could also tell when it was in the cage earlier, when I was looking at it, they look like nurse bees. They look like they were tending to her. They didn't look like they were trying to attack her, right? And so that is a concern because they can take some. Usually it happens right away. Usually they realize they're queenless. They'll accept a new queen. I mean, it's usually almost immediately, and within a half hour or an hour is probably, it's a high percentage, 90% or something. But sometimes it can take a couple days. So that's one reason you have the cork, and it takes a little bit of time for the releases to make sure you have time. So there is.
Now, as far as for her getting food, though, how's she gonna?
She gets
they're feeding her.
Because, they have worker bees in here that are getting from the can, and when they were in there, they were bringing food over.
If they were trying to attack her, they wouldn't feed her, right? If they were,
that's right.
So it might be days before she gets any food, though, without.
If that's the case,
be.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that would be something at the end. I mean, you do after you go through this whole process, and a couple days later, you're going to go want to check this cage.
Yeah.
You want to make sure there was acceptance, right? Yeah.
But I don't know if you have to feed her, or feed her anything else, or is she getting any food though?
She's getting the food because there's
just from them.
Yeah, I have seen where people have put just a drop on the queen cage, a drop of sugar water there. I've never felt the need to do that. But
never seen that.
All right, so we're gonna pound them down again, and then we're gonna shake them so they will start flying here in a moment.
So things are gonna get exciting now.
Yeah. Hey, girls. Try and get as many in there as we can. And then we're going to set that down near the
notice he does
entry.
By the entrance.
Yep. So if anyone wants to look in there, there's just a whole bunch of bees at the bottom in there. So. And bees always, for some reason, want to climb up.
Yeah, there'll be a little bit of space. Normally, that's something that you have a bottom board. There is a little bit of space for them to do that. So, and the thing is, you don't pound the thing down, but if you put pressure, then the girls they're used to being
kind of moved around a little bit. Yeah.
So you just steer slowly.
So that's why I didn't push that frame up against there, because there was a bee on one of the ears of that there.
You're going to leave one frame out to clean them, just have to do the room.
So so what I'm going to do now with this last frame, and hopefully they'll build this one out because I've got some space there. We're going to drop her down in there. I'm going to use that tab to just kind of hook over that frame there.
Now, if everybody noticed, when he put the queen, he didn't have the screen coming up. The screen is going sideways.
Yeah.
And the thing is so the other girls, bees, orchid bees, can get access to it, because that's how she gets food.
Yeah, if you can see the screen is facing the front there.
You're going to put a feeder on the top?
I am, yeah.
So then basically they will eat through that little
Be inside what?
That little fork that's in the bottom of that. They will eat through that and sugar it out, right?
So it's not really working then, right?
Well, it's easy to forget to zip everything up. I've worked bees and then at the end realized that I never zipped myself all up.
You were saying though, and they said too, right? In the past, if she's not out in the day or two, then you open the cork up.
Right. Yeah. And I plan to check tomorrow evening. Kind of about 4 or 5 o'clock. I'll go in and I'll see if she's still in there. If she is, then I'm going to have a little screw and I'll just pull it out.
Okay.
So then, which bees eat from the core?
All of these girls, all of these are worker bees, and they're all going to be working towards releasing her.
Okay.
So this is my inner cover here, and what we're going to do is put a feeder on top of this, and then we're going to put some sugar water in there. Oh, actually, you know what? I'm going to put a pollen patty on here first.
Where are you going to put that at?
Yeah, so what I'll do is I'll put the pollen patty, try and aim to put it back over here, so that I'm not
on the frames.
So I will. I'll put it on the frames. I'm sorry. I'll do it underneath this. Yeah. I just forgot to grab it.
I went ahead and bought mine. So like, oh my God.
Yeah, I got all my stuff ready to go.
I haven't mixed the sugar water.
I haven't done it yet.
So that pollen patty. Some people will tell you that to kind of score it, gives the bees a little more places that they can get into it. Trying not to move the queen cage around much there. Yeah, that gives the bees, honestly, they've always been pretty good about eating the pollen patties up pretty good.
How long would it take him to finish that one pollen patty off? I think?
You know, with this many bees, that might go for a week. You know, if the hive was really robust and full, it might last just a couple of days. Yeah. Yeah, could be. So what I'm going to do, I don't have anything in this feeder yet, but if you guys see, it's got a hole in the middle there. And on the inside here, it's got basically a cover. So the bees can climb up and over and get the sugar water out of this, but they won't actually drown in the sugar water. I really like this feeder. And I'm going to put it on here because that'll basically seal up that hole. So now the only way for the bees to get in and out of this hive is now through this opening, which has an entrance reducer on it.
Here's this front on
So,
back.
yeah, you know what? A lot of them are going to die through this process. It's unfortunate, but they will. In fact, this is actually a drone right here that happened to be in there. See how he's kind of a bigger and chunkier? His eyes go all the way across.
Oh yeah.
So this one can't sting you. So you don't have to worry about this one. You can, yeah. You
Anybody
can.
want to try?
Yeah. Hopefully this is enough water. I just kind of tried to prep this. A lot of times I'll mix this up in the house and just carry it out in this jug, but basically mix a 1-to-1 sugar water to feed these girls.
Are you gonna just leave your excluder all the way open? Or you just take it out? At this point, you need to have it.
Oh, so that's a reducer, entrance reducer. I'll leave that in place for about a week, right? It makes it to where the bees can more easily defend the hive if someone or something is trying to get in there. I have a problem with wasps around here, so wasps definitely are an issue. I haven't seen too many yet this year, but the bees definitely need to be able to defend their hive from wasps and whatever else. Mice, yeah. I definitely don't want mice in there. So, yep, skunks.
When you take that all the way off and leave it all open, just let them do it.
You probably don't need to open it as much as you think.
Yeah.
But later on, once the population gets to be, more breed boxes and have more where it's their truck. So you'll know that
Because of the wind, you get through here, you have to weight that down.
So I do weight it down, but it's more for raccoons and skunks and stuff. Yeah, trying to get in there. Yeah. I've never seen one blow off. Yeah. Yeah, bricks. You can see I've just got a brick on that one over there, right? That's my swarm trap one.
Yeah, so it ends up being more of if it ends up being there's not enough space and how the bees can't get enough like they want to, that would be the time you do it. Just don't make it big for the heck of it because it's more than defend. And right now they're small.
Of course, one girl already landed in there.
In here. It's later on this summer there might be 60,000 bees in here.
Because it prevents them that lid, and they can't get into it, right? They just
Right.
okay. You just have to go in that one.
Yeah. And yeah, there's all kinds of different ones you can buy. I forgot what this one's called. Detroit.
Yeah,
They have some sort of term.
I can't remember what its name is. Of course, this is a medium super. Here, typically we'll use this for when we're collecting honey. It takes the smaller frames like that. But I also use it when I've put this feeder on, just to give me a space there. Yeah, I got some over here too. I'm gonna try and push out of the way. There we go. Get up there. Yep. Try not to hurt any of them. I don't know if that's still gonna live in there. Yeah. You know, you're always gonna have one or two kind of that get hurt when you're doing stuff. But once I do this, then of course we can put that on there. And then we should be good. So, I usually do, yeah. And I was thinking I was gonna, yeah. I was about to say I can't imagine what I might use. So, but yeah, something like that. And then that one's just waiting for the girls to get used to it. And you might see the bees; they'll kind of do orientation flights, kind of bigger concentric circles around as they kind of orient and figure out exactly where their new home is. And if I ever want to move this now, I have to move it less than 3 feet at a time or more than 3 miles. Because if I just move that around the corner there, they'll come, they'll be flying around here looking for it. They will be trying to find it in this area. They won't even go over there. So it's kind of sad.
Do you have anything in this one?
So not yet.
Oh,
nope. That's the second package. Yeah. So yeah. So we can do it all again if you guys. Yep. Hey everyone. So what a great day. We got bees installed. Oh, hello little friend. Hey sweetie. Yeah, I got water on my hand. I got a bee on my finger drinking. So we got both packages installed. Still working on putting the sugar water in that hive. See, little girl. Oh, she was thirsty. So anyway, thanks for watching Adrian Has Bees. I hope this was interesting to you as well. I'm certainly excited this year to have 2 hives starting out. And we are set up for success this year, I believe. So thanks for watching, everyone. Take care and have a great rest of April and the summer coming up. We'll talk to you guys soon.